I'm back with your next class. In today's class, we are going to discuss two very important topics which I think all of you know about, that is greenhouse effect and global warming. These topics are so very important that they are continuously being provided to you from your lower classes. So today also we are going to discuss them again so that you can understand their importance, or so that you can understand or revise regarding them. That's why. And also these topics are very important for your board exam as well as for NEET. So starting with greenhouse effect. All of you know that greenhouse effect is a phenomena, it's a natural phenomena, how certain of gases called greenhouse gases in our environment will help us to keep the earth's surface heated up, right? They would try or help to retain the heat on earth's surface, and that's how we all will be able to survive. But then of course, even if greenhouse effect is required for our survival so that earth's surface can remain heated up, but then if greenhouse gases are emitted too much in our environment, that would again lead to too much temperature rise on earth. That is again referred as global warming, which is a very negative impact of greenhouse effect. So all of that we'll be discussing in detail. So let's start. Greenhouse effect. The term greenhouse is derived from the phenomena that occurs in a greenhouse. That is a small glass house used to grow plants, especially during winter. Now in a greenhouse, the glass panels allows the light to come in but does not allow the heat to escape, thereby warming up the entire environment inside the greenhouse, helping the plants to have optimum temperature in which they can show their maximum productivity, alright, or crop yield. Now, greenhouse effect is a natural phenomena that is responsible for heating of Earth's surface and atmosphere. Without it, the average temperature at Earth's surface would have been minus 18 degrees Celsius rather than the present average of 15 degrees Celsius. Alright, so that's how so very important greenhouse effect is. Now, let us learn regarding the mechanism of greenhouse effect. See, clouds and gases reflect about 1/4 of the incoming solar radiation and absorb some of it. But almost half of the incoming solar radiation falls on Earth's surface, heating it, while a small portion is reflected back, right? Now, Earth's surface would re-emit the heat in the form of infrared radiation. But part of this does not escape into space as atmospheric gases like carbon dioxide, methane, etc. absorbs a major fraction of it. So sunlight is falling on Earth's surface, that a portion of it will be reflected and the heat would be in the form of infrared radiation. This infrared radiation would not be allowed to escape again. Rather, they would be further absorbed by certain greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, etc. so that the heat is retained inside Earth and we all can survive at a particular optimum temperature range. Otherwise, Earth's surface would have become very cold at night and that would not have been suitable for our survival. Isn't it? So very important greenhouse effect would be. The molecules of these gases radiate heat energy and a major part of it again comes to Earth's surface, thus heating it up once again. So the process is going to be continuously repeated. This downward flux of radiation is called greenhouse flux. The gases responsible for greenhouse effect are called greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane I have already stated before, and there are others like CFC, chlorofluorocarbon, nitrous oxide, etc. Water vapor also contributes to greenhouse effect, right? Now, effects. What are the positive or negative impacts of greenhouse effect? There are certain things that are positive, there are certain things which are negative. So what are they? First is a positive point, that is carbon dioxide fertilization effect. You have learned in class 11 the photosynthesis chapter, in which you know very well that there are these C3 plants for whom the carbon dioxide that is present in their surrounding is not sufficient enough. Right? For them, carbon dioxide is a limiting factor. And that's how, if carbon dioxide can be increased in their surrounding, then their productivity or crop yield can be enhanced, isn't it? So that's what the C3 plants becoming more productive or their crop yield enhancing under the effect of carbon dioxide is called carbon dioxide fertilization effect, as if the plants are becoming much more fertilized in the effect of carbon dioxide. Alright. So, increase in atmospheric concentration of carbon dioxide increases the productivity of C3 plants and decreases transpiration due to partial stomatal closure. Alright, carbon dioxide being high also will be affecting transpiration rate, as it would be partially closing down the stomata. Recently, the concentration of greenhouse gases has started rising, resulting in increase of mean global temperature, that is called global warming. So, if greenhouse gases are too much in concentration in our surrounding, then there will be too much of temperature rise, and that is known as global warming. Right? Global warming is interrelated to many other kind of effects. There are many things that can be happening one after another due to global warming. Now, the temperature of Earth has increased by 0.6 degrees in the last 3 decades. This resulted into odd climatic changes, which is together referred as El Nino effect. Alright? Now, due to global warming, as I told you, there are many things interrelated and that can be happening, like first, melting of polar ice caps. If there is global warming due to greenhouse effect or due to too much of greenhouse gases in our surrounding, the polar ice caps would start to melt. If they start melting due to that again, the sea levels will start to rise. If that happens again, the rainfall patterns will start to change. So one after another, interrelated events will keep happening, which will have negative consequences. Alright. So melting of polar ice caps, rising sea level with changes in the rainfall pattern, and of course then warming of troposphere and cooling of stratosphere and thermosphere. Alright. Now, IPCC, that is Intergovernmental Panel for Climate Change, periodically monitors the atmospheric concentration of greenhouse gases and their possible impact. Alright? Now, control measures. Now that we know what are the problems, we have addressed the problems, how do we solve them? That also has to be found out, right? So these are certain solutions which can help us to, prevent the negative effects of global warming, like reducing deforestation, cutting down use of fossil fuels, planting more and more of trees, slowing population growth, and finally developing substitutes for CFCs. Alright, so this being said regarding this topic, next we'll be discussing another important topic, that's ozone depletion and its effects.